Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my E3 2014 coverage. This is Robert, Rule of Two Review, and now it's time to talk about Microsoft. Alrighty, moving on to analyzing Microsoft's press conference from yesterday. They kicked off E3 2014 with the first press conference on the first day of the show. This year, yesterday, June 9th at 9 a.m., they started their conference, and I gotta say, I was more than impressed. I actually think that their press conference was fantastic solely from the realm of content. I made a video just a couple of days ago talking about and discussing what it takes to win E3 and what it is we look for. And one of the things that I talked about is, you know what? If you just had a press conference showing us game after game after game after game and that was it, we would probably all love that. And that would be seen as a great press conference. And wouldn't you know, that is exactly what Microsoft did. So here's the one thing that I won't say. I won't say that Microsoft's press conference was exceptionally exciting, because it really wasn't exciting. There wasn't a lot of glitz. There wasn't a lot of spectacle. There wasn't a lot of showmanship or any of that stuff. No theatrics whatsoever. It was clear cut, black and white, 100%. Here's a game, watch this trailer. Here's a game, watch this footage. Here's someone playing a little bit of a game with no bullshit commentary over it. Just watch the game being played. And I got to tell you, I thought that was great because they showed probably more than 20 games, not including an indie game sizzle reel. And pretty much everything they showed was fantastic. There was a couple of exclusives. There was kind of a lot of multi-platform stuff, but hey, that's okay. They did spend a little bit of time talking about DLC that's exclusive or timed exclusive for some DLC and stuff like that, which is okay. Like, I don't really get excited for that stuff. I don't think it really belongs as like a hype machine for any of your games or at a press conference, but they kind of included it in such a minor fashion that it really didn't seem intrusive. So overall, I was okay with that. So I'm going to talk about a couple of the games and what I thought was really exciting. So the games that I'm going to talk about are in no specific order. They're just kind of as they came into my head or as I researched them, as I put together my notes for some of the things that I wanted to talk about. So one of the first things that just stood out when I wanted to come back and sort of recap what Microsoft did was I really enjoyed seeing a Tomb Raider trailer. What was revealed to be Rise of the Tomb Raider is obviously going to be the sequel to last year's Tomb Raider, which was a really, really excellent game for the 360 and the PS3 and the PC. And then, of course, we know the definitive edition came out early this year for the Xbox One and PS4. That was a great game. I didn't really expect to see the game this year. There was like no hype or anyone really talking about it. It's almost like people forgot. And Microsoft showed it at their press conference. Now, it was only a CG trailer. It used really awkward and uncomfortable character animations. I can't say that I overall loved the quality of the CG trailer, at least visually, but as far as what it was that it was alluding to and just the simple fact that it's saying, hey, the new Tomb Raider game, totally on board. That's all I needed. That's probably all most of us needed. I don't really care about the character animations. I just liked seeing a brand new one. And it was really cool because it's obviously, I think that it's going to be touching on kind of maybe, the idea of her going through some PTSD, some post-traumatic stress from what she went through. That's kind of the unique idea of what this new Tomb Raider reboot is showing, is that she was just kind of a regular woman, a regular person, and went through something really traumatic and had to kind of fight and find herself and find her courage throughout this game, and ultimately succeeded in doing so. But she wasn't used to doing these things. So obviously it's going to take some time for her to cope and get over what she was doing, as well as acknowledge and accept the fact that, yes, Lara Croft is the Tomb Raider and she needs to move forward and become the Tomb Raider, as she says at the end of the trailer. So the trailer itself was only okay, but the fact that the game is coming was really exciting. So I super, super enjoyed seeing that. They started off the show with Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. That was great to me. I know that people are going to have opinions on all sides of the mix on this one. All I can say is the more I watch of it, the more I know that I'm just a big Call of Duty fan. It's just that simple. I really love Call of Duty. I love the gameplay. I love what they're doing. Seeing Sledgehammer's first foray into the genre and to the franchise was really exciting. I think that, visually it looks better than any Call of Duty. You can see that it's mostly a new engine and it's using some next-gen power. So that's really exciting. It looked great. It didn't look amazing, but it looked great. The gameplay mechanics were really cool. I really liked the setting of what we saw them playing through. It definitely showed some of the cool ideas of what they're doing with this new future tech. Some of the guns actually seem futuristic, which none of the, like Black Ops 2 was just simply not able to do. The grenade that shoots up and fires like a homing grenade and finds some guy and blows him up is really cool. It still has the typical Call of Duty set pieces interspersed with the action he was playing a campaign section of the game. And that stuff we just come to expect it. It would have been nice if it could look a little bit different than previous games, but I don't really care. As far as the visual style and the idea of what Call of Duty was showing, I thought it was great. I'm excited. It's probably still going to be one of the biggest games of the year when it finally comes out. So that was definitely really pretty cool. They, of course, showed some Forza 2 and had a release date for that, which I don't remember. September, actually. So Forza Horizon 2, which is very specific. And I'm not really a Forza guy. I am certainly not really a racing simulation kind of guy. I don't really care about that stuff. The game looks impressive, so that's really cool. It's not exciting to me, but it's a big deal. It's going to be a very popular game. So for Forza fans and racing fans, that's really exciting. They showed some Evolve gameplay, which I thought was really cool. It was really just kind of a new trailer that showed off some of what's going on from Turtle Rock Studios, which are a lot of the guys who worked on the Left 4 Dead games. So that game, I think, is going to be really fun. I don't think it's going to be like amazing or super game changing like they want it to be, but I think it looks great. I'm absolutely going to get it and play it. So very, very exciting. They showed some Assassin's Creed Unity stuff. So let me talk about that for a minute, because I'm very vocally not a big Assassin's Creed guy, and it's not from lack of trying, because I've played several of those games. I think 3 or 4 of them trying to get into it. Yeah, Assassin's Creed, the first one, Assassin's Creed 2, and Assassin's Creed 3 and 4. I've actually only played the 4 numbered games now that I think about it. Brotherhood and Revelations I never played. So, people love Assassin's Creed. It's really popular. It reviews pretty well. It sells like crazy, and that's great. So I'm not a fan of it, even though I really have tried. But Assassin's Creed Unity is a big deal. So they showed off. That is the next-gen game coming out later this year. There's Comet for the last-gen games, Unity for the next-gen systems. All I'm going to say is it just didn't impress me, and I can tell you, I'm sure of this, it's only because I'm not an Assassin's Creed fan. So I can imagine Assassin's Creed fans probably got really excited because I can see how what they showed was very cool. They showed the 4-player co-op idea, which is a really unique thing to bring into the Assassin's Creed universe. Not exciting to me for that kind of game, but it certainly is pretty cool looking. So again, I'm sure fans of that kind of gameplay or fans of Assassin's Creed thought it was really badass. So I appreciate that they're trying to do something to kind of change the Assassin's Creed formula a little bit. Online co-op, online multiplayer, that's not really a new thing. That's showing up in every game nowadays. So that's kind of why I was like, whatever, don't really care. But like I said, it's cool to see them trying to change Assassin's Creed. Now, the one kind of more negative thing I do want to say, and this is only negative from a certain point, and I'll explain that, is considering that this is the next-gen Assassin's Creed game, I don't really think it looked that great. I mean, it looked good in the fact that it looked like a fine game, but it didn't look next-gen. It didn't look amazing. It absolutely looked like all the other Assassin's Creed from the previous game. So I don't really think that visually it's taking advantage of the next-gen, and it's sort of just lending to the fact that I've realized that the next-gen isn't about graphics. Like, there's really nothing impressive going on visually, but here's the caveat to that. Personally, I don't really care. I do love really good graphics, and I can't wait to see more next-gen looking games, but I don't need that to enjoy games or be excited about them. So I don't really care that the game doesn't look next-gen, but I do think that it's kind of an important bullet point to say that of the 2 versions coming out, the next-gen one, to me, doesn't really look next-gen. It looks no better than any other Assassin's Creed game. So I don't know. That's this power of the next-gen. I just don't really think it's doing a lot. But Assassin's Creed Unity, 4-player co-op revealed. Pretty cool for fans, so that's definitely a big deal. And they moved on to some other things. Dragon Age Inquisition was showed with premiere content that's hitting the Xbox One first, which is really cool. I'm super pumped for Dragon Age, so it's nice to see a new trailer. The trailer itself was just okay, but it was just cool seeing it because I'm excited for the game. They talked about Dance Central. They did show, they showed some Fable Legends stuff. Now, that was cool in a sense. I'm actually a big Fable fan. I loved Fable 1. I loved Fable 2. I didn't play Fable 3, but I know a lot of people didn't like it. I can't remember now what the Connect Fable game was, but I thought that was really stupid, so I didn't even try it. Fable Legends is the next one coming to the Xbox One, and what I got from what they showed on stage was a lot of good and some not so good. What really disappointed me is the fact that they only showed the multiplayer stuff. Because they basically showed this, the exact same kind of thing that Assassin's Creed was a 4-player Fable experience co-op thing where you're all fighting against the same enemies. Now, I do think that that looks pretty cool for what it is, but I just don't really care about these kinds of multiplayer experiences for that kind of game. Like, to me, Fable is just this huge world that you interact with in a campaign, and that's all I really want out of it. So I don't really care about multiplayer stuff. That being said, I mean, it still looked pretty cool. I'm not going to pretend like it wasn't cool just because it's in a game I don't want multiplayer in. It was neat looking. I love the visual style. It looked gorgeous. I like the animations. Fable has always been known for mixing in a really unique style and a lot of humor and goofiness into the game. I think that worked really well. The characters banter back and forth I thought was really funny and, quirky and unique. So I enjoyed the way it looked and I enjoyed the way it felt. So I'm really excited to see more of what Fable Legends will be from a single-player campaign perspective down the road. Let's see. They also showed some really cool on-stage play of Sunset Overdrive. That is a game, Insomniac's first foray into the Xbox, and I am really pumped for this game. I think it's looked great, everything we've seen previously. And yesterday we got to see a lot of good actual gameplay, on-stage demonstration. The visual style for this game, really unique and cool. I liked how it was kind of making fun of old, more serious shooters. It's a really unique idea, a fun setting. I do hope that the setting gets more varied. The only thing that I'm a little bit nervous about is that we've only seen the exact same daylight, regular old city settings for everything for Sunset Overdrive. So I'd like to see some different environments, some nighttime shots, maybe see like some weather can come in and play some effect. I definitely want to see some more, variety to that game. But the core mechanic and the core idea, super, super fantastic. Really excited for that. The Dead Rising DLC that they announced was really cool because the name was fantastic. Okay, this is going to be the first time I've said the name out loud, so I'm going to try to do that and see how fun it is. So, Capcom announces Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX Plus Alpha. Yes, that was exactly as fun to say out loud as I thought it would be. So that was really cool because they announced that it was available as soon as the trailer played. Project Spark. Here are 2 more games I want to touch on, and I think... Oh, no. I'll talk about 3 more games here before I end my Microsoft review here. Since, again, I don't really have presentations to talk about. All they showed was fucking games, so all I have to talk about is games, which I am totally okay with. So, Project Spark. This game has me really excited. This is the kind of experience I love in video games. I like the visual style in this one. It's very much a user-generated content kind of game. I'm kind of equating this to Microsoft's answer to Little Big Planet for Sony, which is a really cool idea because I love Little Big Planet to death. And I think that Project Spark is a really unique idea where it seems like people create their own characters, their own world, their own gameplay styles. I mean, it's just basically everything. And it just looks like a lot of fun. We don't really know a whole lot, but there's a great trailer that kind of helps explain it a little bit better than I can. I am super pumped for that. That game makes me want an Xbox One. Here's another game that I'm very pumped for. Ori and the Blind Forest. Now, this is a very pretty, gorgeous, ambient, atmospheric platformer that is coming only to Xbox consoles and to PC. So Xbox One, Xbox 360, and PC/Steam probably. And it looks very much like Limbo or Rayman Legends kinds of games with very beautiful hand-drawn art, very fantasy-oriented setting. It's just the kind of game that I personally love. Like, these things speak to me. I would buy a $400 or $500 machine just to play a game like Ori and the Blind Forest. So that has me very excited. So now I'm going to go ahead and get to the last big thing I think that I want to touch on for Microsoft Conference this year. Okay, and that last thing is, of course, Halo. There was a lot of Halo content and a lot of Halo talk at this year's show, which I was really glad to see, and it was all pretty much awesome. First and foremost, let's get to the Master Chief Collection because that was announced. It was rumored and leaked a couple of weeks ago, so we all kind of knew to expect it. But it was still very interesting seeing it revealed because they showed a bunch on it. So they have confirmed the Halo Master Chief Collection, which is going to be a collection of Halo 1 Combat Evolved, the Special Edition HD remake, Halo 2, which is also getting the special edition treatment. So freaking excited for that. Halo 3 is coming and Halo 4. So all those are included on the same package. They showed the interface, which is cool because you're able to kind of mix and match, seamlessly go between all the games and all the different missions from each campaign, from each game, as well as the full multiplayer content for each game. I mean, that is so badass. That is just the coolest thing. I love what they're doing with this. Seeing the Halo 2 stuff was really fantastic. They confirmed Halo 2, the first online multiplayer for Halo ever, when Xbox Live was brand new for the original Xbox, 2004 when that game launched, 10 years ago. And so it's getting this special edition treatment. They showed they showed a bunch of comparisons of what they did and how they touched up all the maps and all the graphics for Halo 2. And they also did an on-stage present gameplay of a Halo 2 map multiplayer in the special edition remake. And it was just awesome. It's just so cool seeing this stuff for the first time in so long. So happy with what 343 is doing with the Master Chief Collection. Very, very cool. And there's even more than just that. They also confirmed Halo Nightfall. Halo Nightfall is the live-action Halo series that is going to be debuting and premiering with the Halo Master Chief collection when that comes out November this year, 2014. It's in production now. They discussed it on stage. They showed a couple of set photos, and they confirmed that with the Master Chief collection, you'll get the access to be able to watch this series. That is so cool. Very well done. Bravo 343. Bravo Microsoft. Can't wait for more Halo. The other really neat thing about the Master Chief collection is that it will give you access to the exclusive Halo 5 Guardians multiplayer beta. So bam, that is a shit ton of Master Chief and Halo content, all for November this year, all with the Master Chief collection. Brilliant, amazing things. So I've been so happy with 343 since they've taken over, and this is only further confirming that. I really, really love what they're doing there. That is a big deal. We didn't really get to see any of Halo 5 Guardians. They showed a little CG sort of trailer thing, but it was like a couple of seconds long, not very exciting. But that's okay. We just know Halo 5 Guardians is coming next year, so all this Halo stuff is going to probably be enough for myself as a huge Halo fan and other Halo fans to be satiated for this year, so that is completely okay. Very, very excited to see that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the Halo stuff and everything. They absolutely knocked it out of the park. I love what they're doing. I can't wait to get more Halo this year. So, and with that, I think that's pretty much it. At the end of the day, as you can tell, I loved Microsoft's press conference. I think they killed it. They just did nothing but showed games, had a couple of developers come up, talk about their game, then they showed it, then someone else came on stage to talk about another game, and it was just great. Phil Spencer, amazing, fun, genuine, charismatic guy. Really happy with the decision to make him the head of Xbox for Microsoft. He's obviously a gamer. He made a great decision removing the Kinect. I love that they didn't even talk about that. They didn't talk about a single business thing. They showed motherfucking games. There was no motherfucking business on their press conference. Loved it. That's exactly how to do it. So they did the right thing. They showed a lot of stuff. Oh, I didn't get to talk about Crackdown. Crackdown 3 is an exclusive big deal for them. That was kind of their last game, and I'm not really a Crackdown fan, so that's kind of why I forgot it. But that's a big deal. So kudos to Microsoft for securing that, and for Crackdown fans, I'm sure you're very excited. So that's a big deal too. So even though I didn't love all the games they showed, I just love that they showed games. And even the ones I don't love, things like Assassin's Creed and Forza, they're still a big deal, and they're still going to make a lot of money for Microsoft. So for fans of those games, right on. Microsoft, great job. Phil Spencer, love you, man. Thanks for all the great games. Thanks for the content. Oh, I forgot another one. Here I was wrapping up my video, and there's one last one I'm going to talk about really quickly, and that was Scalebound. I'm excited for that because that is from Hideki Kamiya and Platinum Games, exclusive for the Xbox One. I love me some Platinum. I loved Mad World. Wonderful 101 is one of my favorite games of the last couple of years. Bayonetta is great. So Platinum Games is knocking it out of the park. Exclusive game that looks really great for the Xbox One. So that's a huge one. That right there was like Xbox One. You sold me. I'm going to be picking one up soon. So anyway, like I said, thanks to Microsoft. Good job, Phil Spencer. Good job for the Xbox One. Very, very excited. Fantastic press conference. It might not have been exciting with a lot of glitz and glam, but so much content, you can't argue with that. So absolutely fantastic job. Wonderful press conference for this year. All right, and I'm so excited and talking so much I'm starting to lose my voice. I'll wrap this up. Thanks for checking out my second E3 video as I reviewed Microsoft's press conference. I'm going to link my review for Nintendo's digital events for E3 below, and stay tuned because I'm also going to be doing a review of Sony's press conference coming up soon. Hopefully I get that one up today. Maybe that'll be tomorrow. And then, of course, I'll be reviewing E3 as a whole at the end of the week. So thanks for tuning in. Keep enjoying E3, guys, and of course, game on.